First tonight,
dozens of Haitian migrants apprehended in waters off of Exuma. Stay tuned to Our News Tonight for more details.
plus traffic police do double down on bad drivers, particularly as traffic accidents appear to be on the rise across the country. And the chamber president says they're continuing discussions with the BPL and government as businesses say they're losing money due to ongoing power outages. And then in our news at 7:30, a former police officer accusing the force he wants to work for of failing to continue investigations into his brother's fatal shooting, allegedly by an off-duty officer. We have the details for these stories and more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. A busy day on the high seas for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Monday as 54 Haitian nationals caught in waters off Exuma along with, get this, tightly wrapped packages of suspected drugs and more than a dozen electronic devices. The migrants were brought to the Coral Harbor base shortly after 7 Monday night, where they were handed over to immigration officials. Our Joshua Williams tells us more.
The Defense Force apprehending illegal migrants in Bahamian waters early Monday morning. The HMBS Madeira arrived at the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Coral Harbor base just after 7 p.m. On board, 54 Haitian nationals, including 47 men, 6 women, and 1 minor.
A boarding team was placed on board the vessel, and as a result, they found migrants, suspected Haitians, to be on board the vessel with an undisclosed amount of narcotics that was on board as well.
The group was offloaded by Defense Force and immigration officers. Once on shore, they were then fingerprinted and processed. The sloop used to transport the migrants was also towed to the base. Captain Derek Ferguson telling reporters they came across the boat near Norman's Key. And that's just what we saw. Bricks of suspected drugs laid out with cell phones and other devices. While they couldn't tell us the weight and street value of the drugs, it's believed to be a mixture of cocaine and marijuana. So what about the captain in charge of the sloop? The commanding officer explains.
The gentleman that we identified as the captain was the individual responsible for the seamanship and navigation of that vessel. He was in possession of the navigation equipment, and he was in the area of the wheelhouse performing duties and responsibilities of a master of a vessel. As the master of any vessel, it is international law that all responsibilities for the persons and items on board your platform are your sole responsibility.
And with the threat of illegal migration continuing to show itself, Defense Force officers say they'll continue to protect our waters.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. Well, traffic police, more now than ever, extremely concerned with the number of traffic accidents and fatalities this year, promising to crack down on bad drivers who endanger the lives of not only themselves, but others as well. In recent weeks, violent crashes going viral on social media have become the norm, and it's grabbed the attention of police. On a recent episode of Our TV's On the Record with host Jerome Sawyer, Inspector Jerome Thompson says they've noticed an alarming trend, especially among young drivers who have a penchant for partying.
What we expect from those events are for persons to partake in drinking alcohol. And what we need to do now, we need to tailor our enforcement efforts to interact with those persons when they're leaving. Mm-hmm. Because I believe, like, once we have a solid presence out there, it will cause some persons to second guess getting behind the wheel of a vehicle while highly intoxicated.
And although officers are vigilant, some drivers still slip through the cracks. In fact, you at home might have found yourself in the same position at one time or another, believing that you're sober enough to drive. But Inspector Miko Evans makes this plea.
As a family and a friend, if you see a loved one, incapacitated, you know that they are incapable of operating a vehicle. That's the time to step in as a family or a friend. Take your loved one keys, assist your loved one with a ride home. We need more of that.
All right, great advice. Well, police are investigating an alleged attempted kidnapping after a 54-year-old woman says a man tried to force her into a vehicle while she was walking east along Prince Charles Drive early Monday morning. According to police, the incident happened shortly after 6:30 a.m. Investigators say she was approached by a man driving a blue Suzuki Swift, who allegedly grabbed her by the hand and attempted to pull her into the car. The woman managed to break free and quickly contacted authorities. She was not injured during the incident. A man who demanded $200 to return a misplaced iPhone 14 Plus to its owner has been placed on probation for 3 months. Tatiano Pierre could spend 30 days behind bars if he reoffends while on probation. Pierre called the number on the phone when he found it. He was expecting the owner to bring his finder's fee, but was instead arrested by the police. Pierre pleaded guilty to stealing by finding at his arraignment before Senior Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation weighing in on ongoing power outages, saying unreliable electricity is making it harder for businesses to operate day to day. Chairman Don Williams says when the power goes out, businesses don't just pause, it costs them money. From refrigeration and air conditioning to payment systems and computer networks. He says nearly every part of a business depends on a steady supply of electricity. And when that supply isn't provided, businesses are left scrambling.
You'll see the frowns even though you don't hear them as much because it's an infrastructural issue, and that has a place in almost everything in respect to business. So whether it is you keeping the lights on so that you can just power your place for the air conditions, for the refrigerators, for any systems that you have, a database, your merchant terminals, all of that requires power. And as such, when you don't have that consistent level of power, communication, you're bound to have issues and failures. And as such, businesses are experiencing that cost. So whether it is they still have to pay the employees, even though they have to send them home for a half day. So it is that.
And while some might say get a generator, he says startups and small businesses can least afford the additional expense of backup power systems, especially after already investing thousands of dollars to get their businesses off the ground. The chamber chairman says it is continuing discussions with BPL and government in hopes of improving power reliability and exploring possible relief for businesses affected by the outages.
Well, we encourage any business owner to never be discouraged. Like, these are the challenges of being an entrepreneur. Now, at the same time, we need to make sure that while these are the challenges, are we making sure that they're fair and equitable, essentially, okay? So everyone pays taxes in various shapes or forms, but we need to see where our tax dollars are actually going. Because if I'm paying taxes and I'm supposed to be guaranteed a certain level of service, that's my expectation. Now, do we have hiccups? Do we have challenges? Yes. We have challenges from time to time, whether it's BPL, whether it's our level of communications for our internet services, etc. But it cannot be constant.
Meantime, artificial intelligence is transforming the future of heart care, and that groundbreaking technology took center stage recently at the Atlantis Imperial Ballroom during the 39th Caribbean Cardiac Society Congress. One of the leading voices at the conference was Dr. Joseph McGinn Jr., Chief of Cardiac Surgery at Miami Cardiac and Vascular Institute. He explains how AI is already changing the way doctors care for patients, helping physicians make more informed decisions and improve outcomes even before surgery begins.
In terms of artificial intelligence, really, we're not going to, it's in its infancy as well. We're not going to be seeing it in the OR, but it will help with perioperative care. Decision making before and after the OR, AI has been very helpful. It's been integrated into our EMRs as well. So I expect in the future we'll be able to use that as, point of care information for our patients, and also doing, instantaneous research in the hospital on our actual patient population with our EMR and AI integrations.
Also sharing his expertise was Dr. Bradley Taylor, Chief Medical Executive at the Christine E. Lynn Heart and Vascular Institute. She highlighted how artificial intelligence is being viewed as an added support for doctors, especially when tackling complex medical challenges alongside their teams.
I think of it this way. It's a form of collective intelligence. So the concept that if you have a complex problem and you put people with put a series of brains together you get multidisciplinary teams of people working together, and people from different disciplines will see that problem from a different vantage point, and you get them working on that problem. And AI is just a tool to supplement or complement that concept of using a series of good brains, good people working together to solve that problem.
All right, well, we've still got more news to share tonight, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, happy Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. What a scorcher of a day it was, and temperatures still at the 90-degree mark outside our studios right now under partly cloudy skies. The winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour, and boy, it feels really warm out there. It feels like 97 degrees on the outside. Temperatures right now around the family of islands, we pick up 86s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, over in Alistown, Bimini, 87 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 88, Great Harbor, Keith, Berry Islands, Nicholstown, North Andros, and Governor's Harbor, 89 here in the capital, 90. And we pop 91 right now in Kemps Bay, South Andros, Black Point, Exuma, 88, 88 also in Arthurstown, Kid Island, 87, Georgetown, Exuma. And then we pick up 86s in Port Nelson, Rum Key, Deadman's Key, Long Island, Coburn Town, San Salvador, 85. And into the southeast Bahamas, Duncantown, Ragged Island, 84, 87 in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, Abrahams Bay, Maguana, Turks and Caicos Islands, Providenciales, as well as Matsutown, Inagua. You're all 86s at this hour. Satellite radar composite, we still have the moisture in place across the northwest Bahamas. That's courtesy of that stalled out frontal boundary, which is dissipating, but it is still has some energy in it as triggering some showers as well as some thunderstorm activity. Most of the activity across Florida right now, but we do have some spotty showers just near the Grand Bahama area, all moving towards the northeast. That's courtesy of a southwesterly flow as a ridge of high pressure sticks across us. Saharan dust is dominating the central and southeastern islands. That will be moving into the northwest Bahamas over the next couple of days, so we will be drying out, but we will still see 1 or 2 showers in the forecast. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a second look at our weather when we come back.
Coming up in sports, we have limited bandwidth, but we try to walk and chew gum at the same time following the Commonwealth and CAC games.
My lord, Rika done turned 23 on us. Say less. She was just a brown girl in the ring, and now she 23? I dreaming. Hold on. I supposed to go to Paradise Games. I gotta play this early California and Lake Miami. Child, you know Rika born lucky. If anyone age could fall, it's her. I think I coming with you to Paradise Games. Well, hurry up then. These numbers ain't gonna play themselves. I come in. Any on Prince Charles now. You know we like new things.
Paradise Games. It pays to play in paradise. Paradise Games reminds you to please game responsibly.
You or a loved one currently under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Our compassionate team is committed to patients and their loved ones. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept all major insurance. With 2 locations to serve you, at Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street, we also ship to the Family Islands. Visit us on Facebook or call Ports at 377-1771.
Want real talk on real health issues? The Doctors Hospital podcast brings you expert insights straight from our medical team, connecting public health issues to what we do here within the health system.
From chronic disease to mental wellness, we break it down so you understand how it affects you and what we're doing to help. Listen or watch the Doctors Hospital podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Doctors Hospital Podcast, where public health becomes personal.
Rubens has career wear from Casper and Klein and LeSuit that will take you from office perfection to after-hour elegance with professional tailored suiting and business casual pieces. We have your 9-to-5 fit, even in plus. At Rubens, we believe trailblazing women need clothing that will consistently deliver powerful looks that complement their style and confidence. Rubens has workwear for the guys too, with Dockers and Nautica pants, dress shirts, and more to enhance his professional wardrobe. Get dressed up with Rubens, Harbor Bay and Palmdale Plaza, with timeless suiting made to work.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by Tanthier Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Latest from the Commonwealth Games, it was a day for the OGs, the vets, the elder statesmen, whatever you want to call them. They did their thing. Age is just a number, and the veterans on Team Bahamas made sure everyone remembered. 39-year-old Carl Heald punched his ticket to the boxing quarterfinals when he outworked Oswar Talaka of the Solomon Islands on a 3-1 decision. He'll score the fight's only knockdown, and with one more win, he'll guarantee himself at least a shot at a medal when he takes on Northern Ireland's John McConnell. Over on the track, 42-year-old Donald Thomas reminded everyone why he's one of the greatest high jumpers we've ever seen, clearing 2.1 meters to finish 6th in his 5th Commonwealth Games. In the pool, Lamar Taylor was so close to a final once again. Shifting gears to the Dominican Republic and the CAC Games, Carahana was just on the cusp of history. On to the next one though, that breakthrough is right around the corner. Carahana was just one win away from making history. The Bahamian judoka came within striking distance of winning a historic CAC Games medal before she ultimately lost in the bronze medal match of the women's 78-kilogram division. She opened her day by taking care of Aizana Marenko of Nicaragua, but lost to Colombia's Brigitte Carabali to be relegated to the bronze medal match. There, the home crowd had plenty to cheer about as the Dominican Republic's Moira Murillo defeated Hannah to claim the bronze. Now we head over to France, where Bahamas Equestrian had another near-podium finish. For the 3rd straight year, Team Bahamas proved it belongs among the world's best youth equestrian programs, finishing 4th out of 12 countries at the FFE World Clubs Tournament in France. Coming off a bronze medal last year, Sienna Jones, Alana Pyfrom, Kelsey Pyfrom, and Marlo Pinder arrived with their eyes on another podium finish, and for most of the tournament, they were well on their way. That'll do it for sports. More where that came from. We'll be back on our news at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As the President of Israel and the U.S. meet for the first time since they launched a joint war against Iran. Plus, a 7.1 magnitude quake hits Japan's southern main island, leaving dozens injured or missing. And Haiti's Provincial Electoral Council releasing the country's official 2026-2027 electoral calendar, paving the way for its first full national election since 2016. We have the details for these stories when our news returns.
Chicken lovers, listen up! Popeyes is serving it up for you! Get 5 pieces of juicy, hand-battered, bone-in chicken for just $10. That's right, 5 pieces of Louisiana-style flavor, fried to golden, crispy perfection for only $10. But don't wait, this deal won't last forever. Head to your nearest Popeyes today and grab your 5-piece for just $10. Popeyes, where the chicken's always worth the hype. Available for a limited time only.
For 38 years, Struckham Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Struckham provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Chicken lovers, listen up! Popeyes is serving it up for you! Get 5 pieces of juicy, hand-battered, bone-in chicken for just $10. That's right, 5 pieces of Louisiana-style flavor, fried to golden, crispy perfection for only $10. But don't wait, this deal won't last forever. Head to your nearest Popeyes today and grab your 5-piece for just $10. Popeyes, where the chicken's always worth the hype. Available for a limited time only.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Donald Trump met at the White House on Tuesday for the first time since they launched a joint war against Iran. The closed-door meeting lasted nearly an hour and a half and was, quote, positive and productive. Despite signs of tension between the two ahead of the sit-down, Netanyahu was effusive afterward and called it, quote, excellent. Trump also met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday ahead of Senator Lindsey Graham's funeral, which was their second sit-down this month. The Ukrainian leader said he and Trump discussed licenses for Ukraine to produce Patriot interceptors and several other ideas that could help. They also discussed diplomacy. Authorities in Uganda declared the East African nation free of Ebola today. While a total of 20 cases were reported in Uganda, health authorities say there is currently no indication of further spread within the country. The last patient was released June 16th, and Ugandan authorities have awaited the World Health Organization recommended 42 days or 2 incubation cycles for Ebola to declare the country free of the disease. Confirmed cases in Congo have reached 3,262. Data by Congolese health authorities show that 1,437 patients have died in what officials have said is the fastest Ebola outbreak on record. A 7.1 magnitude earthquake shook Japan's southern main island of Kyushu on Tuesday, leaving dozens of people injured or missing after part of a shopping center and a huge chimney at a paper factory collapsed. A tsunami warning was issued but quickly lifted. There were fears that at least 2 people were dead. In Kashima town, the quake collapsed the second floor of a shopping center, trapping an unknown number of people there. 4 people were pulled out with injuries and taken to a hospital, while 10 others were unaccounted for. The extent of the damage was still being investigated as the search and rescue effort continued. Japan's prime minister said there were reports of damage to roads, bridges and buildings, as well as blackouts and fires, though details were unclear. On the other side of this break, highlighting local entrepreneurs, Abaco Markets Limited hosting craft market showcases every Saturday for the month of July. And then in our news at 7:30, Bahama Land Investments responding to the growing controversy surrounding the demolition at the Port Lucaya Marina. Our Evelyn Ferguson joins us live in studio with the latest. That's coming up when our news continues.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptionals meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Like, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large 1 topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, that included, but
I need the $10 special, please.
How much you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. Marcos got that deal, boy.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all to deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try set them all cold and flu and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Popeye's wings got better. Now spicy and mild, sauced and dry rubbed. If Popeyes can make better wings, I can be better Mayfield.
It keeps getting better.
A real gentleman would share those wings.
Let's just get across the street.
And the better baker is Baker.
Yes! Popeye's wings got better. Now available in spicy and mild, sauced and dry rub, bone in and boneless. With Popeye's wings, you can enjoy bold flavor while controlling the heat.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
One of the largest retailers in the country, Abaco Markets Limited, is highlighting local entrepreneurs during the month of July, organizing a craft market at the entrance of Solomon's Yamacraw grocery store every Saturday this month. Events and Business Services Manager Naomi Grant says it's all in honor of the country's 53rd independence. Now, outside of the month of July, the market takes place on the 4th Saturday of each month. Grant says it's a chance for AML to show its dedication to celebrating products created by and sold by Bahamians.
We want to encourage the Bahamian vendors to give them a space, to give them exposure in the community. We think that it is very important that Bahamian entrepreneurs get the recognition that they deserve, and we give it to them for free. So we enjoy serving the communities that we are close to.
Vendor and educator Siobhan Smith applying her teacher qualifications, skills, and experience to create bilingual content. She says the market grants her the flexibility to pursue diverse opportunities.
I think for me it's important to branch out and explore all avenues. Whatever gift that you're given, I think you should definitely want to share.
Alrighty, well, to watch any of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs and to stay up to date while you're on the move, whether you're at the gym or stuck in the airport waiting to start your next vacation. The Our News podcast puts the latest headlines in your pocket. Just search for Our News Bahamas on your favorite podcast app. That's going to do it for our News at 7. I'm Megan Shepard, handing it over to our Jerome Sawyer for the latest headlines. Jerome.
Well, Megan, good to have you back. They say the shortest vacations are the best ones.
It was truly relaxing.
The question is who's the they, right?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so very much, Megan. Well, more tonight on that growing controversy in Grand Bahama, plus a national conversation on autism. Here's a look at your latest headlines. Ahead tonight, live at 7:30, an Our News exclusive.
A family still waiting for justice after more than 5 years following a deadly police-involved shooting. The victim's brother, a former police officer himself, is now speaking out. I'm Delvado Emmanuel. That story just ahead.
And then 62 Haitian nationals on a one-way ticket back home. The state minister for immigration blames employers who aren't diligent enough in their hiring practices. Also, the latest controversy in Grand Bahama between the Port Authority and the developers of the Port Lucaya Marina.
This raises more serious questions that the Port Authority did not address. The apparent conflict of interest between its regulatory role and the private interest needs to be addressed.
And then later, understanding autism. The Ministry of Education brings together parents of autistic children and critical stakeholders to look at an all-important policy conversation. Our News live at 7:30 starts in a moment.
For many utility companies around the region, power purchase agreements are already a standard practice. A PPA is a long-term agreement which allows utility to purchase electricity from an independent power producer. For Bahamas Power Light Company Limited, it marks a new approach to expanding generation capacity while supporting long-term reliability goals.
So when you think about power purchase agreements, it puts us in a position where we've now shifted the cost of, say, instead of us going out and getting capital to change this 100 megawatts of generation, it actually put us in a position where that cost is now shifted to the independent power producers. So they went out and raised money for their projects.
We at EA Energy have been awarded a contract where we're going to be providing power specifically to the BPL grid. We're an independently operated business and we're privately owned.
Inti Corporation is a company, it's Bahamian-based and owned company, which was elected out of a bidding process to create the energy plant here in New Providence and also one in Exuma.
Right now, the investment for the combined projects of Avocon and Luthra is $160 million. And because these funds are raised privately and they're not required to come from the government, it doesn't put a burden on our government to be able to raise these funds by having to raise taxes or other means.
On New Providence, this facility, we are looking at about $30 million build out of it. On Exuma, again, because of the distance, etc., you're looking at probably another $25 million. Bear in mind that these are still smaller components of the broader energy reform sector that the government has announced, and certainly the demand that BPL requires.
Welcome to our News live at 7:30. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Natalia Hall tonight. First tonight, a former police officer breaks his silence about the death of his brother, fatally shot 5 years ago, allegedly by an off-duty officer. He's questioning why the investigation can't move forward. Our Delvado Emmanuel revisited the scene and has the exclusive.
It was at this plaza where 28-year-old Nawal Maki was allegedly shot and killed by an off-duty officer following an altercation back in March 2021. 5 years later, his brother, a former police officer himself, is now calling out the organization for failing to move his brother's case forward.
I've been fighting this by myself for a very, very, very long time, and I'm tired. I'm tired of not getting any answers. I'm tired of not getting anything back, because I've been fighting and I've been hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and I am tired.
This afternoon, Jeffrey Mackey returned to the plaza on East Street South, where it all began, still seeking justice for his brother's case that he says has gone cold. At the time, police issued a statement saying the off-duty officer was at an establishment in the plaza when he witnessed an ongoing altercation in the parking lot. Police say the officer made an attempt to speak to the individual who was involved, but they allege the man, who was later identified as Nawal, then left and later returned with a baseball bat and struck the officer on his head and face several times. That's when police said the off-duty officer then fired his service weapon, fatally shooting the 28-year-old. Today, his brother Jeffrey says his family never bought the police's versions of events, and they've been seeking answers ever since.
And as simple as me getting a pathology report, that hasn't happened yet. Simple as the coroner's inquest, that hasn't happened yet. As simple as me getting the police files to the lawyers, it hasn't happened yet.
Before his death, Nawal was a father to one son and was working at Apex Paving Company. Mackey says losing his brother was devastating, but he says losing faith in the organization he served for 9 years was just as painful. Left feeling isolated after his brother's death, Mackey eventually left the force.
It's a slap in the face. I can tell you shortly after the incident happened, I didn't get a single call, text, email from any of the higher-ups. Not a condolences, not I'm sorry for your loss, nothing.
While recent developments in other high-profile cases have given him hope, Mackey says he can no longer wait in silence. They're calling for a coroner's inquest into the case. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Some 62 illegal Haitian migrants got a one-way plane ride today, although it was not the one they wanted. The Department of Immigration repatriating 62 migrants to Haiti just this morning, including 48 men and 14 females. The migrants were bused to the Lyndon Pinling International Airport, where they boarded an awaiting Bahamas Air flight. And while the repatriation is important, the Minister of State with responsibility for immigration, Darren Pickstock, says a lot of this could be prevented if employees do what they're supposed to.
Ensuring that they have renewed their employees' work permit on time. The major issues that we are seeing is our overstay, whether it's overstaying your visitor's visa, or just overstaying when your work permit is not renewed. And so we want to encourage employers to just please put their applications for their employees in on time.
Another issue that's come up, immigrants who have work permits but live in shanty towns. Despite living in these unregulated communities, they're given proper documentation.
That's on the employers, who are employee migrants. And so we will have to ensure that there's proper housing facilities, but that's a responsibility for the employer.
A former Marine mechanic is awaiting trial in Florida after pleading not guilty to gun trafficking charges last week. U.S. federal prosecutors allege that 36-year-old Ray Strawn intended to smuggle 9 guns and 15,000 rounds of ammunition from Florida to the Bahamas by boat on April 18th. Officers from the Florida Highway Patrol allegedly thwarted the smuggling plot when they seized the contraband following a traffic stop in Hallandale Beach, Florida, as Strawn headed to the marina with 2 other men. Now, Strawn allegedly told the officers that he was a Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine officer and that he and his cousin Trevor Brown had been hired by Marvin Clark to bring 2 boats from Florida to the Bahamas. Law enforcement also allegedly recovered photos and videos of the seized guns and ammunition from Strawn's phone. Prosecutors did not pursue charges against Brown, and Clark was sentenced to 86 days in prison after pleading no contest to possession of the altered firearm. Strawn was dismissed from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force following his arrest for being away without leave. Well, Bahama Land Investments is responding tonight to the growing controversy surrounding the demolition at the Port Lucaya Marina. On Monday, we reported that work was suddenly halted after the Grand Bahama Port Authority issued a stop notice. Today, the company responsible for the demolition is responding to those developments. Our Evelyn Ferguson is following this story. She joins me live in studio tonight with the latest. Evelyn, what can you tell us?
Well, Jerome, the dispute over the Port Lucaya Marina demolition has now entered its third day, with the delay continuing as both sides stand by their positions. Today, Group Managing Director of Bahama Land Investments, Glenn Delancey, defended his company's handling of the Port Lucaya Marina demolition project, insisting the required fees were paid, the proper process was followed, and questioning the basis for the Grand Bahama Port Authority's stop order.
The public was basically given a vague statement that the documentation was incomplete. But this raises more serious questions that the Port Authority did not address. The apparent conflict of interest between its regulatory role and the private interest needs to be addressed.
The response comes one day after Deputy Director and City Manager of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Troy McIntosh, said the required documentation had not been submitted. During a press conference, McIntosh stressed that verbal discussions do not constitute approval to begin work, maintaining that while the Port Authority has been working with the developers, all established procedures must be followed. However, Delancey says company records show the required fees were paid and acknowledged by the Port Authority, maintaining that his team followed the established process.
On July 23rd, we emailed the Port Authority to confirm the bank transfer representing the full payment of the permit fees. On Friday, July 24th at 8:05 a.m., the Port Authority acknowledged receipt of the transfer of funds.
Delancey further argues that under normal procedure, a permit number is typically issued after payment is received, adding that the failure to issue a permit in this case raises questions about how the project has been handled.
To my knowledge and to the general public knowledge, the Building and Development Department customarily issue a permit number by close of business or the following day once payment has been received. We did that. We've done that. We therefore cannot understand why the permit was not issued. This matter is simply not about a demolition permit. It raises deeper questions.
Despite the continuing dispute, Delancey says his team wants to shift the focus back to completing the project, adding that they plan to meet with regulators in an effort to resolve the matter.
Because the people of Grand Bahama deserves better. They deserve a quality product with a facility, a first-class facility in the hub of the tourist district. So when we're finished with this, we, along with council, are going to make an appointment to see the regulators.
For now, the standoff over the Port Lucaya demolition continues, with no resolution in sight. And as the impasse persists, the timeline for the multi-million-dollar redevelopment project remains uncertain. Of course, this is a story we will continue to follow. But for now, reporting live in studio, I'm Evelyn Ferguson. Back to you, Jerome.
Thank you much, Evelyn. Great reporting tonight, and of course we'll keep an eye on that story to see how it all pans out. Still in Grand Bahama tonight, the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs is responding to a viral R News video showing a portion of the fishing hole road in Grand Bahama crumbling. Now, in the clip, which was shot by R News cameraman Dave Mackey, it shows a portion of the underside of the causeway crumbling when touched by the former Central Grand Bahama MP Iram Lewis.
I'm taking the chance being under here right now. This soon come down. See this big rock? Yep. Oh, there you go. I just touched it and it came down. So you see how dangerous that is.
But the Ministry of Works is pushing back tonight. In a statement issued this morning, Works officials said they're aware of the video and stressed that public safety remains their highest priority. The statement went on to say the bridge has not lost its structural integrity and insisted that the bridge remains safe for continued use. Officials add the conditions shown in the video are limited to a condition known as concrete spalling, or flaking, chipping and peeling of concrete. The ministry insists it does not affect the bridge's overall structural performance. And with concerns mounting about the state of the causeway, the ministry said a comprehensive engineering inspection has been scheduled to complete a full structural assessment. Now, the ministry notes any deficiencies identified during that assessment will be addressed as part of its ongoing bridge maintenance program. Well, time now for our first look at temperatures around the country. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center tonight. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Jerome, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Once again, temperatures right now, believe it or not, we are in the mid to upper 80s and 90 degree outside our studios. Partly cloudy skies, the winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour, and it feels very warm. Feels like 97 degrees on the outside, factoring in the relative humidity. Satellite radar composite. Still have moisture across our area, courtesy of a stalled out boundary that's falling apart, but we still have enough energy in that boundary to generate some showers, especially a couple of isolated thunderstorms across the Grand Bahama area. Most of the activity across Florida, but that frontal boundary will continue to weaken and dissipate. Saharan dust dominating the remainder of the islands. Most of that will be moving into the northwest Bahamas over the next couple of days. So we will see some drying out, but 1 or 2 showers still in the forecast throughout that time frame. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. We'll take a look at the tropics and your extended forecast when we come back.
Still to come on our news tonight, getting them the help they need.
I'm sure Minister is going to say it, but he has mandated that we develop that national registry. So we've actually begun the process.
The Ministry of Education bringing together key stakeholders in caring for kids with autism. That's coming up when our news returns.
Every great future begins with a strong foundation. For the last 10 years, you've helped us build one rooted in connection, trust, and community. Now it's our turn to build something for you.
10 years ago, we've laid the foundation for something bigger. Today, we're still connecting, still transforming, and we're built for more decades of innovation.
And because you've been a part of this journey, we're celebrating the people that has helped us build it every step of the way.
Alive turns 10 and we're celebrating. Customers have a chance to win cash prizes, travel experiences, plus one lucky winner will drive away in a brand new car.
Complete the following transactions. Follow us on social media and celebrate Alive turning 10 with us. After all, it's good to be alive.
For families raising children with autism and other special needs, the need for greater support remains a top priority. On Monday, the Ministry of Education partnered with REACH, non-profit, to host a town hall focused on autism and special needs. Now, the discussion was designed to go beyond awareness, giving parents, educators, and advocates an opportunity to share their experiences and help share policies that better serve children with special needs. Director of the Ministry of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Dominique McCartney-Russell, told attendees that the ministry is already implementing new initiatives aimed at strengthening support services and expanding opportunities for students with special needs across the country.
I'm sure Minister is going to say it, but he has mandated that we develop that national registry. So we've actually begun the process so that we could have a national registry so we know who we have in our schools. And so we have been given that mandate already, Mr. Chairman. We've also been asked to ensure that as a part of the inclusion opportunity, that we develop a special education diploma for our children.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education Chester Cooper reminding parents that the journey for children with special needs begins long before the classroom, pointing to the importance of catching challenges early, while also stressing that the ministry is broadening its reach so families across the islands can access the same level of support.
Every parent, understands that the earlier a challenge is identified in a child, the sooner support can begin. And you've heard Mr. Moxie's story. Research consistently demonstrates that early intervention significantly improves communication, behavior, learning, and long-term independence for children with autism. Our director and a team have expanded Family Island Assessment Services, strengthening multidisciplinary teams, increasing specialist personnel, and ensuring that children across our archipelago receive equitable educational opportunities.
Coming up in sports, some near misses, near podium finishes all around. Track and field and swimming in Glasgow at the Commonwealth Games, judo at the CAC Games in the DR, and equestrian all the way over in France.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is a great house to play, even down to the staff is perfect. They're going to marvel.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
The future of energy in the Bahamas is changing, and renewable energy is leading the way. At Inti Corporation, we're proud to be a part of that change as a Bahamian-led engineering, procurement, and construction company focused on building smarter, more sustainable solutions. Whether it's through our work with the government of the Bahamas and private sector partners, or our push to bring solar and other renewable systems to more communities, we're helping to push the envelope on national energy goals.
Inti supports and shows me that we all have a part to play, no matter how small. Something as simple as turning off unused lights can help reduce our impact on the environment. At Inti, they remind us that every action counts, and with young people and the government both stepping up, it feels possible.
And it's not just talk. They're opening doors for Bahamians to train and work in renewable energy, no matter your background, proving that the key to sustainability is the sharing of knowledge. We are the future, and we take flight with Inti.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Latest from the Commonwealth Games, it was a day for the OGs, the vets, the elder statesmen, whatever you want to call them. They did their thing. Age is just a number, and the veterans on Team Bahamas made sure everyone remembered. 39-year-old Carl Heald punched his ticket to the boxing quarterfinals when he outworked Oswar Talaka of the Solomon Islands on a 3-1 decision. Heald scored the fight's only knockdown, and with one more win, he'll guarantee himself at least a shot at a medal when he takes on Northern Ireland's John McConnell. Over on the track, 42-year-old Donald Thomas reminded everyone why he's one of the greatest high jumpers we've ever seen, clearing 2.1 meters to finish 6th in his 5th Commonwealth Games. In the pool, Lamar Taylor was so close to a final once again. The national record holder advanced through the morning heats before he finished 9th in the semifinals of the men's 100 free in 49.04 seconds, missing the final by just 1 place. It wasn't the result sprint hurdler Oscar Smith wanted in the 110 hurdles, and his race ended before clipping several hurdles and falling before the finish. Team Bahamas isn't done yet. Action continues in the pool with athletics, and Heald takes on the quarterfinals on Wednesday. Shifting gears to the Dominican Republic and the CAC Games, Carahana was just on the cusp of history. On to the next one though, that breakthrough is right around the corner. Carahana was just one win away from making history. The Bahamian judoka came within striking distance of winning a historic CAC Games medal before she ultimately lost in the bronze medal match of the women's 78-kilogram division. She opened her day by taking care of Aizana Marenko of Nicaragua, but lost to Colombia's Brigitte Carabali to be relegated to the bronze medal match. There, the home crowd had plenty to cheer about as the Dominican Republic's Moira Murillo defeated Hannah to claim the bronze. Over on the golf course, Madison Carroll continued her grind up the leaderboard. The two-time national amateur champion fired a 6 over 78 in round 3 and was tied for 7th entering the final round. Now we head over to France, where Bahamas Equestrian had another near-podium finish. For the third straight year, Team Bahamas proved it belongs among the world's best youth equestrian programs, finishing 4th out of 12 countries at the FFE World Clubs Tournament in France. Coming off a bronze medal last year, Sienna Jones, Alana Pyfrom, Kelsey Pyfrom, and Marlo Pinder arrived with their eyes on another podium finish, and for most of the tournament, they were well on their way. Team Bahamas was right in the medal hunt after day 1, but a couple of late rails kept the Bahamians just outside the medal finish. 4th place may have not come with hardware, but it came against the largest field in tournament history, featuring 12 countries from Europe, Asia, North and South America, and the Caribbean. In the final standings, Hungary took gold, Chile was silver, Italy took bronze, and the Bahamas came in 4th. 3 years, 3 strong performances at this event, and the Bahamas continues to build on its profile in international equestrian competition. That'll do it for sports. This is 10YS, and this may be one of the busiest times in Bahamian sports, but I said last week that the LeBron free agency was the most important thing in life. I was wrong, and I am definitely not saying this under duress to protect my peace.
And still to come tonight, Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended weather forecast. Stay with us.
Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Bing bing bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Bing bing bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Bing bing bang.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a water pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You could be straight.
But his boy isn't WimAuto.com.
Hello?
You say you looking for a water pump, right? They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man. That's correct.
It did not. Luckily, WimAuto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guy for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on WimAuto.com.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Too many suffer in silence, but silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Sinead Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us build safer communities together.
This is our news. Welcome back. Tropics, first look at that. Nothing happening out there. Some embedded tropical waves moving across the tropical belt in some Saharan dust, so things remain rather dry. We have one coming off the African coast, another one in the middle Atlantic, not organized at this time. Another third one passing just to the west of the Leeward Islands and then into the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. One moving into Central America, but all remaining disorganized, and tropical cyclone formation is really not expected for the next couple of days. Closer to home, we still have that frontal boundary hanging out, or what's left of it, with some moisture in place, generating some cloudy conditions, as well as some showers and some thunderstorm activity. Most of the activity across Florida, but Saharan dust is dominating the central and southeastern islands. That will be moving towards the north, so we should be drying out for the balance of the week across the northwest Bahamas, but can't rule out 1 or 2 isolated showers in the forecast. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that boundary up near the northwest Bahamas. Most of the activity staying well to the east and across Florida, but we will be drying out, as I mentioned, as some of that Saharan dust moves across our area through tomorrow, and that takes us into Thursday. But there's another boundary to the north, a frontal boundary that will be dropping into our area, so we'll increase some showers at forecast for the weekend. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Your winds will be out of the south to southwest, 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet of open waters. High tide is at 8:15 tonight. Your low tide takes place at 2:35 tomorrow morning. Central and southeastern islands, a southeast to southerly flow expected at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, we begin that drying out starting tomorrow. Just some spotty showers expected. Friday, an uptick in showers with that boundary moving near the northwest Bahamas, but the Saharan dust will continue to push towards the north. But we do increase some shower activity for the early part of next week, and once again, Saharan dust will be with us by the middle of next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, that's going to do it for our news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jerome Sawyer. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, you have yourself a wonderful evening.